Welcome to the Don Sirius Show. From thought-provoking discussions on current affairs to deep dives into the worldly landscape, the Don Sirius Show covers it all. Each episode is a tapestry of diverse topics designed to enlighten, entertain, and expand your mind.
What's up, world? This is your host, Don Sirius, to the Don Sirius Show, and welcome back. Thank you for joining me again. And we got a lot to cover today in this episode. This episode is going to be more in detail about, about actually getting your license. It's going to be covering getting your license and also obtaining or getting a job, your first time job with your commercial license, your new commercial license. So that's what we're going to cover today. I got some notes here on the iPad Pro. I'm, doing the Sirius experience type thing because, I love technology. I love quality, a bit, as I've been told, bougie. So, I'm here to do a good episode and give you some informative information about getting your license and your CDL. It's not an and. It is the license that you are trying to get. And if you are trying, you might not get it. So either you want it or you don't. And I'm here to make sure that I will pass on all the information of what it takes to get your commercial driver's license. Yes, so don't try, be like Yoda, and do. And if you don't know who Yoda is, you don't watch Star Wars, that's okay, that's fine. But I will like to leave this knowledge with you. Take the word try out your vocabulary and just get it in your mind. If you want your commercial license, then you're at the right place because I'm going to give you the right information. So continue to watch it, pay attention, and I promise you I will give you all that I know so you can at least leave out here with some notes, mental notes, write down notes, some steps to take. And then from there, either you're going to do it or you're not, because nobody got time to convince you about something you want to do when, you had already asked me, or people asked me before, let me get the light right, about, getting their license to drive commercial trucks and what does it take. And so let's do a little backstory. And when I was in Irving, Texas, I was parked at a truck stop, and I was walking into the inside of the store. And on the way out, it was early in the morning. I was getting ready to get my roll on. And a young person, but an adult, maybe early 20s, he was asking me questions about getting his license. Should he? What does it take? And so I told him to check me out. And so I'm dedicating a lot of these mini series to him and all the other people that was thinking about getting a commercial license, because I'm pretty sure they want to do it for the money, for one. Maybe they want to get out of a situation. Maybe they got a lot going on in their life and they need money faster, legally. And that's another thing I'll probably be covering too, because, you're probably wondering, if you're a felon, can you get involved in getting your commercial license? So, right now, I'm just down here hanging out in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm not over the road, as you can see. I'm not in my semi-truck. I came down here this weekend to do a little personal things in Kentucky, So shall we begin this episode? Before I begin, let me reach over here because it's late at night where I'm at. It's like, Jesus, it's almost like 1:30 almost in the morning. And I am doing an episode at 1:30 in the morning. Can you believe that? So hold on, not really genuinely hold on, but I'm going to grab this cup of coffee because I am a coffee connoisseur. And if you've been watching, I prefer to have my coffee in the French press form. I'm very bougie if that's the case. Yeah. So, I'm just here drinking a little cup of Joe coffee, and we're going to break this thing down to you. I think for me, coffee is the flavor and then the caffeine, because some people, I think they drink it just for the caffeine, and that doesn't make sense to me. No, it does not. Yeah. All right, here we go. All right, so oh my goodness. Ooh. But all right, so I got the notes here on the iPad Pro, and we're going to cover this episode about getting your license. So, let's see here. Let me check out my notes. Yeah, I did that part already. Yeah, so this episode is definitely for anybody seriously trying to land a job to get their license and get a commercial job. I like to rewind a little bit. So if you watched any other episodes that I covered in the past, mainly the episode where I just kind of covered everything in one episode, So to go backwards a little bit about me, I've been driving trucks for a decade. And what can I add to that decade? Because it's been a while since I got my commercial license. But all I know is that I saw no end to the BS in life, and I needed a way out of it. And I need a way to generate more money to make things happen faster, bigger. And one of the most utmost things to my that was something that was really important for me. And I've been on another show, and I probably told y'all one perspective, but I probably left another perspective out. But the reason why I got my commercial license because I have a daughter, and she's 22 right now. But when 22, 10 years ago, 12. My thing is, I wanted to be in my daughter's life before she reached an adult. And the things I was doing, it just wasn't happening fast enough. Like, I had been to college, I used my GI Bill, I made it all the way to my senior year, and then I withdrew from college. And then, things started breaking apart. Then I had to rebuild it. And that, as time went on, my daughter was getting older and older and older and older and older. And I needed to hurry up and speed up the process. So I looked at somebody I knew or know, and he had his commercial license. So I'm already disabled as a veteran. I'm 50% disabled. And so I decided I found out about vocational rehab. So I decided to go the VA route and see if that was still under vocational rehab, which it is. I kind of already knew it, but I did my own research, and I fought between doing X-ray tech, and X-ray tech is like a 12-year, 12-year, 12-month. My bad. Let me correct. It is a 12-month process. Back then, I don't know anymore because I stopped researching about that particular job, and I could have done it, but I didn't like the amount of money you can make after you get experience. Like you kind of like max out or you peak at a certain amount, and it wasn't enough for me. It does not have anything to do with greed or the love of money. So to all of those out there who really think they know what they're saying about somebody, all he cares about is money. Well, let me let you in on a little secret about me. I don't care. It's enough of trying to pretend or keep things away out the public, and then it gets used against you. So I'll just put it out there myself. So all these people out here capping about, they don't really genuinely love money, or it shouldn't be always about money, money, money. Well, let me tell you something, Ms. or Mr. No money, money, money. It shouldn't be about money, money, money. Yeah, well, I got locked up for being broke. I got locked up for being broke. And you know what I mean? Like, I had no money. And when I had no money, child support caught up with me, and they came and put their hands on me, put guns in my face. I had never went through anything like that before. I'm from Shreveport, Louisiana, so I went through a little bit of it. I may be like exaggerating that part, but on some real stuff, I had never been arrested for being broke. And then for 4.5 months, they kidnapped me initially from Georgia, dragged me across the line, 2 state lines back to Kentucky, locked me up for 4.5 months. And for 4.5 months, I went back to court, back and forth. I only had one friend that could answer the phone. My family, we ain't got it like that, so I couldn't depend on them. I really practically was in there on my own almost, around strangers, mad men, smart men. And that changed my whole perspective about a lot of things. And at the time, I was really on a spiritual journey too. That's the crazy part about it. I was working on changing my life. I had locked my hair up, and I thought I was going to lose it. I thought they was going to cut it off because they was threatening me with prison time for being broke for child support because it was the rears. They was already taking money out my check when I had a job when I was in college. But like I told you, my senior year, I had to withdraw from college for more personal issues. And we're not going to get into that. But some of my family members, they understand the story behind that. I'm not going to, throw them under the bus, rather, or certain people under the bus. So I'm going to leave that part alone. So when I got out of jail for them 4.5 months, they threatened me with a felony, and they told me if they would have to come back and get me without paying and put another bench warrant out for my arrest, that they were going to give me a felony. And if it's one thing I know, I had a passport at the time. I want to leave the country when I want to leave. I want to buy firearms when I want to buy firearms. So that changed a lot about how I looked at life. And ever since then, I have not been looking backwards, and it's always been forward. And being, me explaining all of that led to like what I was doing wasn't cutting it. All I was doing was giving enough money to pay rent and pay child support, and I had no life. I had no personal life. So when I seen my friend driving trucks and I knew I was a 50% disabled veteran, I used the back pay that they gave me for 2 years filing for the disability. I used that to catch up with some bills, some of the child support bills. And you know what? They actually garnished some of that money when I put it in a different account. That right there, that was the icing on the cake for me. I was like, okay, all right. So I need to just pay them people off, and I need to get money, and I need to get my daughter life before she get too old. It was both like a combination, and both of them, and it sort of worked out somewhat. You know what I mean? But we're not here to talk about that part. We're here to talk about your license. But that is what made me go get my commercial license. So when I was working in retail, I wanted to move up in a management position, and I still wanted to take Tai Chi. Some people, I'm pretty sure some people don't even know what Tai Chi is. Some people do, some don't. Tai Chi is a form of martial arts, but it's the soft side of martial art, not the fierce, firm, like hard blocks. That's more like kung fu. That's like karate. That's all that other stuff, like elbows and blocks and all that. Tai Chi is just the flow, the slow movement flow, the push and the pull, but it's all slow. The flow. See how I just did that? That's Tai Chi, or left over under right. This is an energy ball. You can start small, and as you breathe and exhale, inhale, and it gets smaller. And this is the byway, Dantian, Dantian, and the Dantians down here. That's all what I learned from Tai Chi. I don't want to go that route neither on here, but that is Tai Chi. And I wanted to work in retail and continue Tai Chi. And while taking Tai Chi, I was learning Qigong. That's more breathing techniques, reverse breathing, meditating. And side note, I tried to give some of this knowledge to a woman I know, and the Negro caught an attitude with me. Oh, you do it the way you want to do it. I do it the way I want to do it. I do it my way. You do it your way. Yeah, it's cool. But guess what, ma'am? You're on a second floor. You should have been on the ground. Because when you meditate or when you do any of that stuff connecting with the universe, you need to be grounded. So the closer you are to earth, the better you are to be able to meditate.
The Don Sirius Show.